Today I'm going to talk about two variations of the squat that you can include in your program as assessments to find weaknesses, as progression exercises to build back or build into squats, or as just a variation within your regular training routine. The first variation that I'm going to show you is called the JB squat. It's named after J.B. Askim, who was an author and a great weightlifting coach. It's a variation of the front squat, except your arms are going to be held straight out in front of you. Because your hands will not be on the bar, it will be a lot less challenging on wrist and elbow flexibility for front squats, and it will be more challenging to keep the bar in place while squatting. It's a great tool to help the trainee learn proper body positioning while squatting. So you'll set yourself up at the bar much like you would for a front squat, except your arms are going to be directly in front of you. The bar will be resting on the top of the front delt. Stand up, back out of the squat racks, position your feet, and then come down into your squat. And up. One of the advantages that the JB squat has is that it allows the trainee to keep his hands in front of them. It's pretty common to see beginners come up on their toes when they first start squatting. And part of the reason for that, I believe, is that they are afraid that they're going to fall backwards with the weight. By keeping the weight out in front and the hands balanced in front as well, the JB squat gives a new trainee a bit of an advantage in finding the weight on their heels rather than going up on the toes and still being able to maintain their balance. So, again, with the JB squat, it's really no different than a regular squat, except the positioning of the bar is more like a front squat, and your arms are in front to help you balance throughout the movement. In Squat Rex 1, we talked about the overhead squat as a variation of the squat to help you learn proper technique and upper body positioning. Today we'll talk a little bit more about the overhead squat, talk about some finer points with the exercise. It's a great tool for assessing shoulder flexibility, thoracic flexibility, and mobility. Also, hip, knee, glute issues will also tend to surface with this type of squat. Start really light with this exercise. It can be done with dumbbells. However, using a barbell allows you to take a bit of a wider grip. The closer your grip is, you'll have a little bit more control forward with the forward and backward movement of the bar. However, it can put a lot of stress on your shoulders. By keeping your grip out to a snatch grip, you'll have a little bit more lateral control and it won't tear up your shoulders quite so easily. You probably want to do some dislocates as part of a warm-up for overhead squats. As we talked about in Squat Rex 1, you're going to start out with the bar. You're either going to walk the bar out in the squat position and then push press it up, or if the weight is something that you can snatch up, you'll snatch it up. So, I'm going to start out with a power snatch. Up to position. Here, make sure my stance is good. I'm going to lower into my squat, and as I lower into my squat, my upper body is going to track forward. And as I'm tracking forward, I'm going to make sure that the bar stays in position. It should not travel back, and it should not travel forward. It should stay in position as my lower body shifts accordingly. A couple fine points. When you're at the top for your overhead squat, you want to actively pull the bar apart as you descend down into your squat. If you're losing upper back tightness in this movement, you're probably going to dump the bar. When doing overhead squats, it's really important that you have a willingness to dump the bar if absolutely necessary. If you fight the bar falling forward or falling back, probably what you're going to end up with is some kind of injury. So, If you don't use bumper plates, that's fine, but you really need to be willing and able to dump the bar if you have to. I'm going to show you how to dump the bar to the front and to the back. Okay, from this position, as I come down on my squat, it's not uncommon to see the trainees start to lose the bar either the front or the back as they come out of the hole. So, as you come out of the hole, if you start to lose it to the front, you need to step back and drop the weight. As you come up from the squat, if you start to lose it behind you, same thing happens. You have to let go of the bar and be willing to move out of the way. When it comes to the overhead squat, less is more. This goes without saying that you should not sacrifice quality for quantity. Because of the position of the bar over your head, the rotator cuff muscles, the stabilizer muscles are held in an isometric contraction in a pretty vulnerable position. In my personal opinion, I'd stick with very low reps on this exercise.